The average American spends over 4 hours a day on their smartphone. What could we all be doing if we got some of that time back? So, a lot of people, myself included at times, spend a lot of their free time mindlessly consuming entertainment. I'm talking about watching TV, playing video games, and scrolling social media. Maybe you don't know what you're going to do all day if you don't do those things. I know I felt like that a lot in my life, but there's a better way to use your free time. So, in this video, I'm going to go over why too much mindless entertainment can be bad, what high quality leisure looks like, and how you can start to replace mindless consumption with more fulfilling alternatives. So, let's get into it. Uh, so, your free time is the most discretionary category of time that you have, right? We all work, we do chores, we do self care, we do all this stuff, but where a lot of the cool stuff happens is in our free time, right? We get to do our hobbies, see friends, travel, etc. The issue comes up when a lot of that time is eaten up by mindless entertainment. The problem is that every minute you're scrolling is a minute that could have been better spent growing skills, nurturing relationships, truly resting and relaxing. Mindless consumption gives us a ton of reward for basically no effort. By just swiping your finger, your brain gets all the instant gratification and novelty it could ever need, and it starts to rewire itself to want more and more of that activity, similar to a drug. So, I want to clarify that there's nothing inherently wrong with mindless entertainment, but it becomes problematic when that becomes our free time, like it has for so many of us. Okay, so mindless entertainment is an ideal. What's the alternative? That would be high quality leisure. In the book Digital Minimalism, Cal Newport defines high quality leisure as having one or more of these four characteristics. Uh, Number one, it's a craft. It harnesses or develops some type of skill. Something like reading or learning a language or instrument falls under this category. The next one is movement. It requires and creates energy. Some examples of these: going to the gym, taking a walk, joining a team sport, anything that requires you to get up and be active in some sort of way. Number three is a connection. It connects us to others. Hanging out with friends, doing any sort of social activity. And lastly, solitude. It forces us to reflect. We need time to be by ourselves uh, and self reflect and process emotions. And we're not able to do that when we blow ourselves up with screens all the time. So, to give an example of high quality leisure, I'll use for my life. I like running. Right, running is part movement, and it's also part solitude. Some more examples: learning an instrument would be a craft. Hanging out with friends would be connection. Going on a walk is part solitude, part movement, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, high quality leisure has one or more of these traits, and importantly, most of them don't involve screens. Getting on to how you can start to replace that mindless entertainment with better leisure activities, I find it's less about trying to stop the mindless consumption that we're engaging in, and more about deciding to start committing to better or more meaningful alternatives. I want you to ask yourself, how do you want to spend your days, and start there, because a lot of people have an idea of the things that they want to do. Do you want to go to the gym more, learn a language? Is there a project you've been putting off? Uh, if you had something you've wanted to try, look through your calendar, find a time every day that you can schedule that in, and just start small. Even if that's just for 2 minutes, driving to the gym, reading one page a day, going on one 5-minute walk. Just start adding that activity into your life regularly. Also, if you don't know how you're going to fill up all of your time, there's plenty of activity lists online that you can look through and see if there's anything interesting to try. I've done this before. I personally recommend NoSurf's activity list. I think it's a pretty good starting point. I can leave that in the description down below. Uh, and lastly, let me just suggest some things that's worked for me personally instead of reaching for my phone. So I find when I'm bored, finding a hobby uh, can fill a lot of that free time that's left over from not scrolling all the time. When I feel distracted, I find it's helpful to just get up and go for a walk. When I'm tired, I can take a nap. I can go to bed early, or if I still have the day ahead of me, I can do something passive like listen to a podcast. Um, Last thing, if I'm overwhelmed, I can journal about how that problem makes me feel and try to chunk the tasks down into tiny bite-sized pieces instead of turning to a screen and kind of numbing myself from the problem. So, with all this in mind, the goal is to make your life kind of more interesting and engaging so that compulsive technology use or other distractions don't really even have a space to squeeze into. Um, so, just start small, see how much you can improve your leisure time, and just see if you feel any better. So, there you have it. I hope that serves as a good starting point to finding better ways to fill your free time. Yes, most of these things take more effort than just passively scrolling through your phone, but they will also be more gratifying. Just remember, our life doesn't have to be spent scrolling. We have the power to design our free time to be meaningful and enjoyable. So